children. My hair looks disgusting. Hello! Today I am here with what the title says, my current makeup wish list. I am not wearing makeup today because I did that yesterday and I just don't feel like putting it on. So I will start that this might be kind of weird if you watched my changing things up or whatever the hell that video is where I talk about how I'm going on a low buy. After some self-reflection, conversations with Eric, I realized that I'm already very conscious of the things I buy, so a low buy doesn't make much sense. Let's jump into my list. The first thing is the Morphe 35i Icy Fantasy. I know these are difficult shadows to make, but I'm so fucking excited that more brands are trying to do that pastel thing. Pastels are very light and you have to build them a lot, and if you blend them they kind of disappear in general. They're just so pretty though. Should I mention the price? I think I'm gonna mention the price of what it is in case you want to like check it out yourself. It is $25 and you can get it at Ulta, so if you wait until you get a coupon. They always have $3.50 off 15 and Morphe is drugstore, so you can use that, or you can wait for a fun 20% off. Doesn't matter if it covers prestige or not because it's drugstore. So I'll tell you where I plan on getting it and the price. I think that would be fun. It'll be informative for you. The next I can only get at Sephora, so I'll get it during the VIB sale. It's the Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Volume 2, and it is $29. It is the little sister of this guy, which, if you haven't seen the inside of this, it looks like so. Next, I have the Huda Nude Obsessions. I want both medium and rich. I don't think light would show up on my skin. I look fair on camera and it's mostly because of the lights. And while I am fair adjacent, I'm more like light. So the medium and rich are both gorgeous, and I have been doing more nudes because if you watched my 20 in 2020, I'm doing more self-care, which means just doing makeup for me, and not every day do I want to spend an hour doing extravagant looks, so I've been wearing nudes a lot more frequently, and I don't have a lot of brown. Next, we have the Huda Mercury Retrograde, which is a hefty $67. This one I've just been kind of on the fence about, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it. It's so pretty and I know I would use it, especially a couple of the shades. So it is on this list, but I think it's kind of like low on the list. I'm not positive if I'll get it or not. It kind of has a question mark. Both Huda things and the Mini Pro Volume 2 are only available at Sephora, so I would be getting those there. Next we have Three Things by Melt Cosmetics. All three palettes are $58 individually, which is also very high. Melt Cosmetics is considered an indie brand with some people. I don't consider them an indie brand because they are sold in Sephora. The quality of their palettes is fantastic. It is pricey. It just is. Want the Gemini palette because the color scheme is right at my alley. I really love those grungy colors, which is why Subculture is one of my favorite palettes, and it is my favorite ABH palette. And then when I saw these, I love when Melt Cosmetics does like a themed collection because they put a lot of thought into it. And they did one for Day of the Dead, and it was so respectful. When I saw these palettes, the Vita and the Myrte, I am white. Moving on. Can get these at Ulta as well. They're $38 a piece. The Cover FX Monochromatic Blush. I want them in Warm Honey and Mojave Mauve. I'll show you both. I swatched them and fell in love, and I love the new idea of like layering. You can use it as the matte blush, or you can use it as a luminous blush, or you can layer the two for slightly deeper color with the luminosity. It's gorgeous. Next, a Fenty Sun Stalker bronzer. These are $30. I have both Shady Biz and Island Ting listed. I swatched Shady Biz and it is the perfect shade for me, but it might be a hair lighter than I want it to be. They did not have the sample thing out for Island Ting, which is the same undertones but a smidge darker, which might be good for my summer skin. But I wasn't able to swatch it that day, so I'm not quite sure. Next is kind of a mix. I mainly wear liquid lipsticks, but I do like MAC bullet lipsticks, so I have 3. 2 of them I can get from Ulta, 1 of them I have to get from MAC. So I want the shades Mocha and Velvet Teddy. Both I can get at Ulta. And then I want to swatch Smoked Almond. All of these are $19, by the way. Some people consider a few of these indie brands, but like I said, I don't. So 2 things from Lunar Beauty. The Strawberry Dream palette and the Greek Goddess palette. Both are $48. The Greek Goddess palette is something that I've been talking myself in and out of for over a year, and if you can't stop thinking about it, you probably want it. I've been wearing more nude colors on a daily basis now, so it's right up my alley, and Strawberry Dream is just beautiful. Oh, those Lunar Beauty things, I forgot to mention. You can get Strawberry Dream at Sephora. I used to be able to get Greek Goddess, but it's not showing up on their website at all, so I might have to order that from Morphe or directly from Lunar Beauty. Next, Juvia's Place the Tribe palette. I'm really into these grungy greens. I love greens on my eyes, so that's self-explanatory. That is $20 at Ulta. Those quite often go on sale, and I think they're considered drugstore. They're on the drugstore side anyway. They were just recently on sale, 2 for $30, and I should have ordered it, but I was having a hard time picking a second palette. Then we have another drugstore kind of brand. It's the I Heart Revolution Tasty Avocado palette, which is $15. I actually hate avocados, but this palette's really pretty. And a YouTuber I really adore and respect her opinion, Teresa's Dead, said it is her favorite drugstore palette right now, so I obviously have to get it. That's also from Ulta. This one is also a maybe. It's the Benefit Cookie highlighter. I forgot to put a question mark next to it. It's really pretty, but it's almost a smidge more glittery than I'd like it. You know who's making a highlighter that I tested that took my breath away? I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. I tested out the new Jaclyn Cosmetics like 4 highlighter thing, and it was perfect. It was beautiful. It was everything that Champagne Pop is, and I hate that because I don't like Jaclyn Hill anymore, and her company is a fucking hot mess. I don't know. I might buy it eventually. Not right now, but it might. It's not on this list, but it might be on a list. This is kind of an investment, and this is more for my Halloween series and special effects. It's a Makeup Forever Flash Color Palette, multi-use cream color palette in the artistic shade. That was a mouthful. This is $99. I think that's something I want to add to my collection. That's not a huge rush. I don't need to get that until later in the year because it will strictly be for my Halloween videos. Also, it's not even high. There is another thing on this list that I want before that. It's more important to me. Next, all of these, well, I actually bought one. I can do like a little haul thing. So the first thing that was on my list was this. It's the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Mini Velour Liquid Lipstick Nude Volume 2. I already have Volume 1, and I like having these mini bottles to be able to try all the colors. So that I can cross on my list because I already bought that. Then I want the mini set of the reds and pinks. The mini rainbow and the mini blue blood is kind of a question mark. I like it, but I'm not sure. They're all $52. They're great because they're also eye safe, so I can use them all as eyeliner. I'm not always wearing crazy lip colors, but using them as eyeliners is really nice because no matter what eye look I want, I'll have eyeliner to match. Those I either can order online from Morphe or from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Next was the thing I was talking about that I want for my Halloween videos more than the Makeup for Everything, and it is the Skin Illustrator Starter Palette, and that is $55. These are alcohol activated paints, and I get everything in it. It'll have bruise colors, skin tone colors. It's really everything that I'll need for Halloween looks. I also do need to get like cream paints in like grays and whites, but I can order that from, I don't know how you say it, Meron, I don't know, but those are really cheap. I think they're like $6 a piece, and I only need like 2 because I can mix my own gray, I suppose. The last thing on my normie list is 2 things. I'm kind of torn. The Violet Voss Bright Vibes palette, which is $30, or the Violet Voss Sugar Crystals, which I don't have a price written. I think it's also $30. I can get these at Sephora. I have a maybe because I swatched one when I was in there a couple weeks ago and I loved it, but I don't remember which of those 2 that I swatched. So I have to swatch them again to figure out which one I actually liked. Next up I'm going to do the indie brands. I limited it to just 1 palette per brand just so I could test it out to see if I even like it. They're all very highly recommended, but what works on one person's eyes or skin might not work on yours. First up, I have the Pinky Rose Exotic Peacock, which is $24.99, and it looks like this. You could get a bundle of 3, but there's only 2 that I really like, and this is the one I like the most, so there's no sense in buying all 3. Next one I really like, and it kind of reminds me of the Morphe one that was on my list, the 305i or whatever. It is Nomad Tokyo Harajuku, and it is $39. It is like very popular in YouTube, I suppose, and I understand why. It's very pretty. Next we have Certify the Affinity 2, which is $44. I actually don't remember what half of these look like because I made this list like 4 days ago. Oh, it's nice. It's blue. And this I have to order from Beauty Bay because I think it is a UK only product. Which leads me to the next one, which is the Beauty Bay EYN, I don't know how you say that, Bright Matte Palette, which is $20. They have 2. They have one that's a mixture of matte and shimmers, and this one is all mattes. Why I want the all matte one is, I've probably said this 100 times, and I'll probably say it 100 more times. When I do my eye looks, I prefer mainly mattes and then 1 or 2 shimmers. Next is Ace Beauté, or Ace Beauty. I've heard it pronounced both ways. The Oceanic palette is $38.99, and I think it's probably one of their most popular palettes. It's another blue-green palette, slightly different than the Certify Affinity 2, but I want it because I've heard the quality is just like chef's kiss, and it's just really, really cute. Now we have the Midas Cosmetics Lemonade palette, which is $18, and you have to live under a rock if you did not see the blow up of this palette. It is probably what inspired Honey. This thing was sold out for months. It's beautiful, it's highly rated, and so I have to have it. Now we have Kaleidos Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise, which is $24. It's not fancy, but those turquoise shades are really pretty. I actually want all of these palettes, but as I haven't tried them, it's not worth me paying the price of the full set. I don't know if this is like mauve-y, I'm not quite sure, but I have two listed because I can't decide which one I want. I think I'm leaning towards Take Me to Santorini, but I also like Take Me to Hong Kong. I ideally want all of them, but again, same thing as Kaleidos. These are $23 a piece. Next up is Peachy Queen I'll Be There For You palette at $29.99. I found this brand when it was being advertised that they had a Beetlejuice palette, which I missed. And then they had a pumpkin spice palette, which I also missed. But this one's really cute. Friends is one of my favorite TV shows, and I heard Peachy Queen makes great shadows. Like, that pumpkin spice palette was all over the internet. Everyone loved it. I'm still mad I missed the Beetlejuice one. I hope she brings that back. Next is Hip Dot, who just released like the Kesha Rose collection, which I like. But what I want to try first is the SpongeBob palette, which is $36. SpongeBob is obviously still one of my favorite things. So I won't be mad to have it even if the quality isn't fantastic because the packaging is really cute. Next is Give Me Glow Cosmetics, the Olive palette, which is $30. $30 is quite high for 6 shades, so this is kind of on my maybe list, but I really like those 6 shades. Next is Menagerie Cosmetics, and I want all of these, but Killer Purr is the one that I want the most and want to get first. I think I heard somewhere that they donate some of the proceeds to like an organization doing with each palette. So Feral is wolves, Killer Purr is like lions, exotic cats. They have a whale one, which I also really like. I've heard fantastic things. Shroud Cosmetics, it used to be called something else. I think the Arcana palette at $47. I don't actually remember what this looks like. Oh, okay, I do now. I actually want Creepy and Cute too, but picking one that I want the most, or that's the most unique and I want the most, is Arcana. Second to last, Alter Ego Aurora 15 palette at $16. Now some people have problems with brands that like dupe other things. I think Alter Ego has a palette that looks exactly like the new nude palette, but in my eyes, they're not trying to be the exact same thing. Some of the shades are different, the layout is similar, the color scheme is similar, but listen, not everyone has $67 for an eyeshadow palette. The one that I want, there's two of them I want, are like dupes of Natasha Denona. The color schemes of them are great, but I'm not spending over $100 on an eyeshadow palette, and I've heard the quality of the Natasha Denona ones, like the two that are dupes, is garbage. So, not happening. And $16 is a bargain. Even if it's not perfect, it's only $16. But I've heard it is perfect. And then finally, for this round of indie wish list, if I end up liking any of these brands, I will be buying more from them, is the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments at $50. This is a brand I've heard many YouTubers say that this is their favorite like bright color, or it was our first rainbow palette and it's still kind of like the best one. The other one I want from Colored Rain is like the Queen of Hearts palette. That one's a little more nude. I might get that one instead. It is cheaper. I'm not quite sure what I'll do yet, but it will be either Vivid Pigments or Queen of Hearts. Okay, well that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.